And the queens of Dwaraka would address this bird, and addressing the bird, they said, Kurari tvam vilapasi, O Kurari bird, O osprey bird, you seem to be lamenting. You seem to be lamenting for something. Vilapasi vita nidra na sheshe. And looks like vita nidra, your last sleep. And na sheshe, you are not sleeping the whole night. So your O Kurari bird, Kurari tvam vilapasi na sheshe, vita nidra na sheshe. You have lost your sleep and you are lamenting. So, and you are lamenting like this. So the queens of Dwaraka, they are asking that bird, why are you lamenting like this? Because now Swapiti Jagati, the entire Jagat, the entire world, Swapiti has gone to sleep. Ratriyam, because it has become Ratri, it has become night. Not only that, Swapiti Jagati Ratriyam, Ishvaro Gupta Bodhaha, Ishvara, Krishna, they are referring to their husband. Because in Vedic culture, the wife does not call the husband by name, husband does not call the wife by name. So, out of mutual respect to each other. So, the queens of Dwaraka, because Krishna is their husband, they did not want to take his name directly. So, they said Ishvaraha. That means our master, which is Krishna, he is Gupta Bodhaha. His consciousness also he has subdued. Means Krishna is also in Yoga Nidra. Krishna does not sleep like us. When we go to sleep, we become totally unaware of what is going on around the world. In fact, even when we are awake, we cannot become aware of everything that goes on in the world. We depend on so many things, social media and the electronic media, print media, so many things. And over and above that, most of it is filled with fake news. So we get loaded with so much fake news, so we don't know which is true and which is not true. But Krishna's awareness is not like that. He is directly and indirectly aware of everything that goes on everywhere in the entire universe, not just this earthly planet. For us to keep track of just the news on this earthly planet itself is so difficult. But Krishna, he is directly and indirectly aware of everything that goes on in the whole universe, not only this universe, in the multitude of universes that are there, everywhere whatever is going on, Krishna is aware. But in the night, in his Leela of Yoga Nidra, he appears to have withdrawn his consciousness out of his own volition. So the whole world is asleep, even Krishna is asleep, and still you are not able to sleep and you are lamenting. So, Vayam iva Sakhi, O dear friend, O Kurari bird, O dear friend, this your condition is exactly like ours. Vayam iva Sakhi. Why the queens of Dwaraka are saying your condition is like ours, meaning the queens of Dwaraka are also not able to sleep in the night and they are also lamenting throughout the night. Although Krishna is sleeping right there in their palace. So why were the queens of Dwaraka, why were they lamenting? So they say that, Vayam iva Sakhi, O Kurari bird, exactly like us, you are also lamenting. So why the queens are lamenting? They are saying Nalina Nayana. So when we look at the lotus-like eyes of Krishna, Nalina Nayana, Nalina means lotus and Nayana means eyes. Nalina Nayana and Udara Hasodara, his beautiful lotus-like smile, Lilekshanena, by his wonderful glance. When we remember all these aspects of the beautiful face of Krishna, we are lamenting. The queens of Dwaraka are saying. So why the queens of Dwaraka are lamenting? Because Krishna is there with them. Every day they are meeting him. They have married Krishna. So why should they lament like this? Remembering the beautiful face of Krishna, his lotus-like smile and his lotus-like glance upon his beloved wives. Why should the queens lament like this? because the queens are afraid any moment Krishna may leave them and go away. So this mood is very prominent amongst the queens of Dwaraka headed by Rukmini Devi. Although Rukmini Devi is the principal queen, she is the first wife of Krishna, and although she is living in the palace with Krishna, still she is afraid any moment Krishna may leave me and go away. In fact, once Krishna, he got fed up with every day, this awe and reverence by his wives. So he thought, let me play a little prank on Rukmini Devi. So he called Rukmini Devi, and after in the evening meal, he was seated on his bedstead. Krishna was seated on his bedstead, and Rukmini Devi had personally taken the chamara fan, and she was fanning Krishna. So Krishna told Rukmini Devi, you are so beautiful, and you are very intelligent. And not only that, you are a princess, you are the daughter of King Bhishmaka. And when your time for your marriage came, all big kings like Shishupala and Jarasandha and all Dantavakra and all such big kings, they were very eager to marry you. And your brother also, Rukmi, he had fixed up your marriage with Shishupala. Imagine if you had married Shishupala, he would have always been lying at your feet like a dog. He loved you so much. And you look at me, I am not attached to you. After marrying you, I went and married another 16,107 queens. And not only that, I am not even the king. Although I built Dwaraka and people call me the king, actual king is Ugrasena. And nobody even knows whether I am a Kshatriya or a Vaishya. Because in my childhood, I was going around taking care of the cows in the house of Nanda Maharaj like a cowherd, like a Vaishya. And then suddenly I killed Kamsa and became the ruler of Mathura. So whether I am a Kshatriya or I am a Vaishya, nobody can make out. And I don't follow any religious principles. And then when I was in Mathura, I could have lived and ruled over Mathura so nicely. But being afraid of Jarasandha, I ran away and came to Dwaraka, and I made a city in the middle of the ocean. So, such a coward I am, and nobody knows whether I am a Kshatriya or Vaishya. You cannot call me a Kshatriya also. And I am not a king. So, looks like Rukmini Devi, in your youth, maybe in haste, you made a decision to marry me, but I don't think it was a correct decision. It was not an intelligent decision. Even now, and at that time, Rukmini Devi had already given birth to 10 children, headed by Pradyumna. So she had grown-up sons. And at that time, Krishna is proposing to Rukmini Devi. Even now, you are so beautiful. Even now, you tell one word, all the kings in the world will come and fall at your feet. So I think it's better that you leave me. Wrong decision. You annul this marriage and you marry someone appropriate to your status. So when Rukmini Devi heard this, what happened? She swooned, she fainted and fell to the floor. She thought, Krishna is going to separate me from him. And I have to live without Krishna. How can I live without him? And she swooned, fainted and fell down. Why? Because constantly Rukmini Devi and the queens of Dwaraka are living in the fear, when will Krishna get separated from us? Then Krishna saw, some joke I told Rukmini Devi has taken so seriously, she has fainted. So immediately Krishna picked up Rukmini Devi and slowly he brought her back to her, he woke her back up again. And then he started telling Rukmini Devi, what is this yaar? Some joke I told and you took it so seriously. After all, whole day I was sitting in the assembly, so much headache, ruling over the kingdom, this asura, that asura. I thought, let me have a little joke with my wife. I thought you will get a little angry and you will start scolding me. And you look very beautiful like that. I wanted to see you like that. But you took it so seriously and you fainted. So then Rukmini Devi also, it was a joke. So she was thinking it was really Krishna wanted to separate from her. Then she got back to her senses and she also became normal. And so like this, we can see in the dealings between Rukmini Devi and Krishna, how the feeling of Prema Vaichitya was very prominent. So we can see how each of the devotees of Krishna, whether it is the queens of Vrindavan or the Sakhis or the gopis in Vrindavan or the queens of Dwaraka, they all had different moods in serving Krishna. Each queen had a particular mood in serving Krishna. While Rukmini Devi was always very subservient and respectful to Krishna, Satyabhama was a little more free with Krishna, a little more intimate. She used to sometimes get angry with Krishna also. We all know how Satyabhama Devi is compared to Rukmini Devi. So, we can see how each of the queens also different moods are there. So, actually in the Vedic scriptures it is said, Raso Vai Saha, that Krishna is the reservoir of all kinds of rasas. What is rasa? Rasa is the mellow that we experience in our relationship with another individual. Whether as a servant or as a friend or as a parent and child or as a lover and a beloved. These are the primary relationships which we experience in this world. And Krishna is the reservoir of all such relational pleasures, and therefore it is said, Raso Vai Saha. And since Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasures, every minute aspect of differences which are there in each rasa, Krishna experiences all of them with his different devotees according to the mood that they want to serve him. And so therefore, what Krishna does is, he marries so many queens, he has so many gopi friends, because with each of them, he has a particular relationship and he exchanges that mellow of rasa with him. Not only that, all the gopis and all the queens of Dwaraka are eternal consorts of Krishna. So therefore, all of them are expansions of the Hladini Shakti of Krishna. Krishna has innumerable Shaktis, innumerable energies. Parasya Shaktir Vivida Iva Shruyate, the Upanishad say. You cannot count the number of Shaktis, the number of energies that the Supreme Lord has. But still, broadly, all the energies of Krishna can be brought under three heads. The Antaranga Shakti or the internal energy of Krishna, the Bahiranga Shakti or the external energy of Krishna, and the Tatastha Shakti or the marginal energy of Krishna. We all living entities in this material world, we all belong to the Tatastha Shakti or the marginal energy of Krishna. And the internal energy of Krishna acts in the spiritual world, and the Bahiranga Shakti or external energy acts in the material world. So why we are called Tatastha Shakti or marginal energy? Because we can come under the control of either the internal energy or the external energy of Krishna. If we become devotees of Krishna, we can be under the external energy, internal energy of Krishna, and we can have eternal residence in the spiritual world. If we choose to become averse to Krishna, then we put ourselves under the control of the external energy of Krishna. So, when it comes to the internal energy of Krishna, that internal energy or Antaranga Shakti of Krishna is further subdivided into three divisions. What are those? They are the Sandhini, Sambit and Hladini Shaktis. The Sandhini Shakti of Krishna is what maintains everything, all his abode, the abode of Vaikuntha, all the paraphernalia like Krishna's clothes, Krishna's flute, Krishna's throne, all those things are maintained by the Sandhini Shakti. And the Sambit Shakti, the Sambit potency of Krishna gives knowledge to Krishna. And the Hladini Shakti of Krishna gives pleasure to Krishna. And because all pleasures fundamentally come from relationships with individuals, that Hladini Shakti, the personification of that Hladini Shakti of Krishna is Srimati Radharani. And Srimati Radharani, to give further pleasure to Krishna in varying relationships with him, she expands into all the gopi friends of Krishna in Vrindavan and also into the queens of Dwaraka. So, Rukmini Devi, Satyabhama Devi, and all the 16,000 queens of Krishna are all expansions of his own pleasure potency. And so, therefore, when Krishna marries 16,000 queens or he enjoys with 16,000 gopis in Vrindavan, he is playing with them exactly like a child plays with its own reflection in the mirror. If you or I play with our own reflection in the mirror, can anybody say, hey, what right you have got to play with your mirror? Nobody can say, isn't it? So, all the gopis and all the queens of Dwaraka are actually expansions of Krishna's own Hladini Shakti. And so, therefore, Krishna marrying 16,000 queens is not a big surprise. In fact, Krishna can marry unlimited number of queens and still there would be no end to the kind of relationships he can exchange with all of them, because Krishna is Raso Vai Saha. He is the reservoir, he is the ocean of all rasas. And so therefore, we have to understand that all the queens of Dwaraka, especially Rukmini Devi, they are all the expansions of Krishna's Hladini Shakti. And Rukmini Devi is the one who further expands into Lakshmi Devi, who becomes the consort of Narayana or Vishnu. So Rukmini Devi is an exalted personality. She is the Jagannata, she is the mother of the whole universe, original mother of the whole universe. And today, being the auspicious appearance day of Rukmini Devi, we should all pray to Srimati Rukmini Devi for her blessings, by which we can attain the favor of Lord Krishna, and we will be able to develop love for Krishna, and we will be able to go back to Godhead, freeing ourselves from the cycle of repeated birth, death, disease, and old age within this material world. This material world is not the place to be in. Everyone makes a lot of plans to become very happy in this material world. And we should make this kind of adjustment, that kind of adjustment, make some economic adjustment, all these technological advancement, all these things we think by making these kind of advancements, we'll become happy and the material world will become a good place to live in. But reality is that this material world is a place full of birth, death, disease, and old age. If we really want a place where there is only happiness, then we should aim to go to Goloka Vrindavan or to Dwaraka Dhama, where Krishna enjoys. Like even in Dwaraka Dhama, there is only enjoyment amongst the queens of Dwaraka and Krishna. Similarly, we can also enjoy in Krishna's company eternally if we make the choice to chant Hare Krishna and take the shelter of the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and follow all the rules and regulations, and then we will be able to go back to Godhead very easily. So let us take this opportunity of Rukmini Dwadashi to pray to Rukmini Devi to bless us with bhakti and with the ability to follow all the regulatory principles, to chant Hare Krishna and perfect our life and go back to Godhead. Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Gaurnita ki jai, Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai, Krishna Rukmini Satyabhama ki jai, Srimati Rukmini Devi ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.